David Benton is working at the Tres Lobos power plant in Somewheresville thataway. The plant is about to go full automation, no humans needed. As we can imagine, the humans who work there now are thrilled about the changeover.
That's the last vending machine sandwich I'm going to buy at this place. Can't tell a tuna fish from the ham and cheese.
I wouldn't worry about it. Pretty soon you'll get all the home cooking you want. 21 days and we're gone.
So where's the company get off hiring a new guy at this time?
The sooner they automate this plant, the sooner management gets us off the payroll. All of us.
Outfits like this hire as many people as they need for as long as they need. When I was about 17, I got a job at a local cannery. It lasted 3 weeks because the project we were working on wrapped up, but they needed me for that 3 weeks. That's how this stuff works. And as we know and they don't, David is fine with the temporary nature of the job. He's out to make enough money to keep moving. That's about it.
What are we going to do about that, Edgar?
Law from the national, so the company is within its rights.
What about our rights? What am I going to do when the job runs out?
Look, the boss has promised us a retraining program. Now, that ought to help. Besides, I'm going to watchdog the severance pay. I'm still shop steward.
Meet Tom Clancy. No, not that one. This one was a character actor from Ireland. As he said, Edgar is the shop steward, in other words, the foreman and their liaison with management. The company has him by the short hairs and he feels trapped.
What more can I do?
Hey, I need a couple of bodies for an installation job.
I'll take it.
You ought to leave the heavy stuff for the younger guys, Edgar. Come on.
Come on. As long as I'm saddled with you, I might as well find out if you can do a man's work.
Hey, Edgar, your accent slipped a little there. David is operating the crane that's swinging some big piece of equipment into place while Edgar guides it with a big hook. Heart attacks manifest in a few different ways. I used to have a friend in Idaho who went for weeks thinking he had bad heartburn. It wasn't heartburn. After he was diagnosed, his wife quoted the cardiologist as saying, "Your heart has had it." In my case, before the pain started, I was projectile vomiting. A lot of people are like Edgar and get the pain in their left arm. Any of these that you might see or feel is your cue to call 911 pronto. David doesn't have a phone handy, so he'll do what he can.
Edgar, can you hear me?
David tries to cover Edgar with his own body, but that means all kinds of sparks, molten wire, and hot rubber are dripping onto his back. As we know, intense pain has a predictable effect on him. You have to hope the car belongs to one of the management guys that's causing all the fuss. Edgar is as safe as we can get him now, but the Hulk took a jolt that easily would have turned an average human into a puddle of jello. Yes, we know all about padding out the runtime. We know what's going to happen, so please get on with it. Thank you. The men get him to a hospital.
He's in arrest. Paddles. Clear? Repeat. Clear? I've got a heartbeat.
Defibrillation has come a long way since 1980. These days we have AEDs almost everywhere. The thing is, they only work for a specific kind of problem called ventricular fibrillation. Basically, the big chambers of the heart start fluttering instead of beating. We've learned that the shock has to happen at a certain spot in the heart rhythm. Fire it in the wrong place and it can kill the patient. A couple of years ago, we were on a dive trip in Honduras when a diver died in the water of a heart attack. We all did chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions on him, thank you, Dr. Mike, and someone put the AED on him. It wouldn't fire because he had no heart rhythm at all. He was dead. Contrary to what Hollywood tells us, defibrillation does not restart a stopped heart. Its purpose is to jolt a malfunctioning heart back into regular rhythm. The scariest thing I have ever seen was when doctors had to use an AED on my wife. Her heart was racing like 160 and faster, and the emergency room doctors weren't sure what to do. They called her cardiologist, and he said to try cardioverting her. That's the favored big word for it these days. They hooked her up and then gave her an anesthetic drug that knocked her out for 1 minute. Sorry. When that thing went off, I thought my own heart jumped. Thankfully it worked, but honestly, watching her whole body flail as that thing zapped her still haunts my nightmares sometimes.
David? David? Dr. Olson?
Oh, hello, nurse.
Dr. Olson? He's coming too.
I'm Dr. Olson. You've been in a coma for 2 days. There was an accident at the plant.
Hello, doctor. The standard joke to put here would be something like, how come I never had a doctor who looked like that? But I can't do it. I've had 2 such doctors. David's biggest complaint right now is some tinnitus ringing in his ears. It comes and goes and doesn't seem serious. His dreams are another matter.
I've got 23 years with the company, Mr. Buchanan. Please don't hurt me.
That was Edgar the Hulk was holding. Why would he do that? Speaking of Edgar, he's practically made his home in the waiting room.
You surprised me yesterday. The medical jargon.
Oh, well, I used to work in a medical library.
You may wind up in one again. Your case is one for the books. 1, you're alive, and 2, you show none of the corollary symptoms of severe electrical trauma.
Then my heart is functioning normally?
And your resistance is normal also. Plus, there's no evidence of brain damage. You must be made of pretty stern stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. I've never seen anything like it.
She wants to write a research paper on it. He wants to get out of here.
We know from your EEG that your brain was abnormally active during the coma. We ran a spinal tap the first day, and it revealed an inordinate quantity of phenylethylamine. Now, this is not harmful in itself, but it's sometimes an indication of other problems.
Psychological problems.
He's willing to take his chances. If he stays here too long, someone might start asking more than medical questions.
The plain truth is we really know very little about the psychological side effects of deep shock. You shouldn't be unduly concerned, but there is a possibility of emotional reaction. You might find yourself suddenly crying for no reason. And a few cases have even reported hallucinations. Is there someone you could stay with?
Sure there is. He'll stay with me.
Edgar knows this happened to David because of him, so he feels an obligation. The fact that David is a nice guy and a good friend can help ease the pain of the obligation.
National Register, good afternoon.
I'd like to speak to Jack McGee, please.
Of course he reads the National Register, doesn't everybody? I couldn't say for sure that I've ever read a tabloid, but I do enjoy scanning the headlines at the grocery checkouts. How goofy can they get today? That picture was in his nightmare, even though this is the first time he's seen it. How does that work?
Oh, hiya, Dave. Hi. Where's Edgar?
Well, he had to go shopping, but he should be back in a few minutes.
Frank sees David looking at the picture.
It's a real shame. He never really did get over it. It's his wife and his son. Boy was in the Marines. Gone all the way through Nam, 2 tours of duty without a single scratch. First week he's home, he's driving his mom over to see his aunt in Pitt County.
Mm-hmm.
They got hit head-on by a drunk.
One more time. If you can afford to get drunk, you can afford an Uber or a Lyft to get home. Do so. Edgar gets home and Frank gets right to business.
I've been talking to some of the guys, Edgar. We all agree that maybe it's time for a little strike. That we get a rise out of management.
No way. The National won't support a strike, and the company would be free to hire anybody. We'd be cutting our own throats.
Are you kidding me? With the damage you two did on that scissors platform, we got them over a barrel. It's going to take 'em months, Edgar, to train a new crew to do that kind of work. They got to use us.
I wish they'd let you go just like before, except without the benefit package.
Well, hell, we got to do something. What are you willing to try?
Anything. It'll work.
I'm leaning toward Frank on this one. He's right. They need the specialized workers even after the conversion to keep the place running. Talent and experience like theirs doesn't grow on power poles, and you can't program it into a microchip. A general strike could work. Edgar seems a little too timid.
Doesn't understand. Doesn't do any good to take on the company unless we got clout. We ran out of that when we became obsolete.
Clout is very important to him, which means he should be calling for that strike. Refusing to be obsolete, he needs to do something bold and unexpected. A strike fits that bill.
What's Edgar calling the boss for?
I don't know, but from the sound of it, I don't like it.
I don't see why you can't tell me over the phone, Mr. Buchanan. Now, just a minute. All right, 5 minutes. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
No.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
No. This is not a happy be there. David knows there's probably going to be trouble. That's why he's off to cover Edgar's back.
May I help you, sir?
Please, don't hurt me, please.
My God, that thing's gonna kill Edgar.
Through that door, Buchanan's secretary says the same thing he just heard inside his head. It's starting to dawn on him, hit him with a big jolt of electricity, and suddenly he's clairvoyant.
I've got 23 years with the company, Mr. Buchanan.
Look, Tucker, you're not a well man. There would have been no accident on that platform if you'd been honest with us.
Lying about his heart condition is what brought it to this. I have to agree that a good manager can't let that slide.
Look, Tucker, but in light of your long service, I've made arrangements for an early retirement waiver. You get your full pension. As of Friday, you're off the payroll.
It's a pretty sweet deal, but Edgar doesn't like it.
You ought to think twice before you throw away human beings, Buchanan. You might need one of them to turn off the juice when things go wrong.
Buchanan doesn't think that'll happen. His automated system will revolutionize the industry and nothing can go wrong. Go wrong. Go wrong. He never got around to watching Westworld, I guess. He also didn't catch the way Edgar said when things go wrong. He seems awfully sure they will.
And I did see that creature of yours.
Well, so what's your problem? You don't want $10,000 anymore?
Well, sure I do. But I can't let you in the plant. Now, ever since we've had the union trouble, they don't want any reporters down there. They think it might be too dangerous.
Dangerous how or for whom, they didn't tell him. David and Edgar are working on something. David's visions are still happening, and they all involve Edgar, the Hulk, and a room with lots of important-looking equipment.
You know what? What bothers me is why Buchanan lied about the retraining program. There ain't gonna be any. Yeah, it'll be up to me to tell the guys. I'm having them over tonight, but even with beer and pizza, it ain't gonna go down easy.
They'll blame him rather than Buchanan, of course, because they can get to him. They can't get to Buchanan. Those things that David envisioned falling on his face were pills. Within seconds, the vision starts happening.
Obsolete! It just ain't right. Just ain't right. Edgar! Edgar, hang on!
As we might suspect, the pills are nitroglycerin. Edgar is borderline unconscious by the time David gets to him and shoves one of the pills under his tongue.
You all right now?
Yeah, sure. It looks worse than it is.
Sure, Edgar. This is David you're talking to. The guy who just saved you with your own nitro pill, remember? Edgar finally confesses that Buchanan found out about his heart, and that's why he's being put out to pasture. It seems to me Buchanan doesn't have any room to talk about someone else lying, considering he lied about the plan for the men. But that's different because he wears a suit.
What can I do for you, David?
Well, some answers, I hope. I was over at the medical library, but I could find very little on electrotrauma. Now, do you know of any existing documentation connecting deep shock with precognition?
There's very little documentation, period.
That's probably because, one, electrical accidents like David's don't happen that often, and two, the ones that do happen generally end with the current subject now being the dear departed.
I do know of one case, an apparent psychic in New England who worked with the police. He claimed to have had no special abilities until after he'd survived 60,000 volts.
It's possible the same thing happened to David.
If it has, there's nothing supernatural about it. We're all able to project the future in little ways we can't explain. It's common to be thinking of someone and have the phone ring a minute later.
If we could all learn to control it, we could be like that guy in England.
He committed suicide 2 years ago.
Perhaps we don't want to be like that guy in England. Maybe this isn't such a great idea. There are times when knowing too much is just as terrifying as not knowing enough.
Bye-bye, thank you.
You're welcome, David.
This show does like its near misses. Edgar has broken the news to the men.
For months, all we get out of you is talk about the retraining program and the benefit package, and now you're telling us it's all bull?
What'd you go to the hospital for today?
Nothing.
Probably to get his head examined. Now, look, what I want to know is what other brilliant moves you got planned next.
There's nothing else I can do. We've got no clout.
It'd be easy to say Frank doesn't grasp that Buchanan lied to all of them, but his issue is deeper than that.
Mr. Shop Stewart here ain't gonna get himself laid off. No, I got it from a secretary I know. He's gonna get himself retired. Full pension, everything.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, there's a reason.
The reason is he made a deal with Mr. Buchanan.
That's a lie.
You sold us so plain and simple!
And then the fight started. David invites the guys to leave. The real problem here is Edgar. Buchanan lied to him, but he's been lying to Buchanan and his men for months about his heart. If they knew, Frank would sit down and talk reasonably right now. But this is why he didn't tell anybody. He knew a guy his age with a bad heart would get cashiered out before he could finish telling them about it.
Yeah, Frank was right. I did sell him out.
You didn't make a deal. And you didn't sell them out. Now they're your friends. So tell them tomorrow, huh? Tell them the truth. Right now, there's only one thing that you should do. And that's get some sleep.
Well, you go ahead. I got some thinking to do.
Sure, I mean, who wouldn't be able to sleep after a quiet, dull evening like that? In the morning, he finds Edgar asleep at the table. He's still having his premonitions about the Hulk killing Edgar, so it's time to be far away from Edgar. We get why David did it. Edgar doesn't. David was his only ally in this situation, and now he's standing alone in a pit of despair. That's a bad sign. That photo is probably his most prized possession. If he's taking it with him, he's not planning on coming back.
Hello, Edgar.
Hi. Buchanan wants to see you.
I better call.
His office. He said pronto. I'll cover.
Okay.
That's the main control room where all the new fancy automated stuff happens. Edgar just used an emergency fire door to lock him in. If he and that machine really want to be alone, he should close the drapes too.
Tucker, what are you doing?
This is crazy. Hey, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Edgar, get out of there.
Okay, so there aren't any drapes. They'll just have to find a secluded spot behind the equipment. More guys are arriving.
You guys wanted me to do something? All right. I've done it. I control the plant now.
Edgar, this is not the way to do it. Now, come on out of there.
No way. I finally got us some clout. Get Buchanan. Tell him to get himself down here. I'm in charge now.
There's not much they can do. There's no other way into the room, and it's hardened enough that they can't even blast their way in. Seems a little short-sighted to me. You automate the place and find ways to shut yourself out of the control room when the system decides to mess with people's electricity. Oh, you're changing that light bulb? Watch this. Ha! Just kidding.
Police are scouting the vicinity of Trace Lopez for one David Benton, a close friend of Edgar Tucker's, in the hope that he might convince Tucker to surrender. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of David Benton should contact the police immediately.
Well, nuts. There goes that escape. But he should know he can't leave yet. We've only seen the Hulk once.
All you've got to do is get on TV. Promise no layoffs.
You know I can't do that. I don't have the authority.
Then get it.
He probably knows who to call to do that, but he's not a boss. He's a high-level bean counter, and he knows it. He's not about to stick his own neck out like that.
Edgar,
Look through the glass, Buchanan. Look real close. Right now, I'm going to start shutting down the breakers. You can kiss your super automated whiz-bang goodbye.
you know, you won't stand much of a chance in there when it goes.
That doesn't particularly bother me none.
Those guys still haven't figured that part out. It wasn't as drastic as blowing up a power plant, but emotionally, I've been where he is. He intends to go out with a bang. I intended to just disappear. There's a really high cliff over a lake not far from where we were living, and at this time there was no guardrail. My plan was to go out late at night when nobody else was around and drive my car off it. Just vanish so my family didn't have to deal with the stigma of what I had done. If you're feeling like life isn't worth it, you are not alone. If you call this number, someone will be there for you. My messed up mind thought that my family having to deal with the stigma of me just leaving without a word was better than dealing with the other stigma. This is how clearly I was thinking. I know how much it all hurts. I know how bleak it looks. But just like me, your brain is lying to you. You need a sounding board, someone to talk to and tell all these things to. For me, it was a super perceptive physician's assistant that my wife was working for. He literally saved my life so I can bring you these videos and stuff. You are just as important to the world, maybe more important. There's only one way to find out, and that's to keep living. If you're not sure you want to, please call. The world would be badly diminished if you're not in it. 988. Please call before you do anything that can't be reversed.
Oh, no. No time for that now, lady. No. Come
Mr.
on.
Benton, why do you
David,
think
this
he
way.
took over the
He's
power
in here.
plant? Mr. Benton, can you tell us? The police have just brought in David Benton, who is going to try to talk Mr. Tucker out of the master.
Jack knows that security guard can't stop him now. The place is loaded with reporters and he's just one more. David is here.
Edgar? Edgar, listen to me. Edgar, at least look at me. It's David.
I don't have any friends named David.
He had one, but that guy packed up and snuck out without even saying goodbye. Not a friend at all. How many times has David tried the leave a note thing and it backfired? After a while, you'd think he might try something else, but not today.
Get in through this vent and reach Edgar.
Do it easy.
Nah, he'd never listen to you. It's gotta be David.
I don't know that he'll listen to me.
You're our only shot.
You don't understand. I can't do it.
No, David, you don't understand. The script says you're going to.
Remember, if you get to the emergency master, you can vent the turbines and close her down. It's CX-11. Look for the blinking light. You gotta get that light off.
What they said about Edgar on TV, that he has a medical problem, is that true?
Yeah, he has a heart condition. That's why they're retiring.
He just gave those two the verbal spanking of their lives, and he didn't even have to try. And yeah, Jack isn't content to stand around with the other reporters. He wants to know the name of that guy they just shut in the vent. Their answer is, "Who are you?" No, that's not the guy he's looking for. Edgar is turning the whole place up to 11. That means massive overloads and scorching temperatures. It's getting intensely hot in David's vent. There are also obstacles. This transition is new and I love it. It's the smoothest one they've come up with yet. I hope it's going to be a regular part of the process from now on. This is what his premonitions look like. Next, he'll pick Edgar up and throw him across the room. At least that's what happens in the visions.
My God, that thing's gonna kill Edgar.
Please don't hurt me.
That wasn't much of a throw. His rage-blinded mind is trying to remember what he was supposed to do once he got in here. This ain't it. He recognizes Jack, but more important, all those guys standing there has redirected his mind over to what his mission was. CX-11 sounds like a mind control drug you'd find at the CIA. The man said he had to shut off the blinking lights. I'm pretty sure he meant just turn the switch off, but that works. Through another wall and he's gone. And Jack can't do anything but stand there. He didn't even bring his camera.
I know what's gonna happen to me. What about the guys?
Well, Frank and Walt didn't give Buchanan any choice. You see, he needs a present work crew if he's ever going to get the plant online again.
And the benefit package?
Oh, they got it all in writing, just like you wanted.
Hey, things are looking up.
And all it took was him flipping out, trying to destroy the place and himself with it. See? Buchanan can be reasonable, you just have to know how to talk to him.
I wish you could stick around, at least for the trial.
Well, I don't think there's going to be any trial. The company, it appears, will not be pressing any charges. Bad PR. I don't think they're interested in creating a martyr.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
You too, my friend. Well, you be good to yourself. Huh? Bye-bye.
If there's a trial, all of Buchanan's lies and manipulations will become public knowledge. That wouldn't be good for him. Even without a trial and all that, I suspect he's going to be looking for another job anyway. Monkey mucks frown on this kind of exposure, and one of the lines in Buchanan's contract probably says that if something like this happens, he takes the fall. It's the whole reason his position exists. When he realized that he was the designated fall guy, he decided to try and capitalize on it. The following year, Lee Majors starred in a show called The Fall Guy. Buchanan figured it was made for him, but his audition was less than successful when Lee Majors couldn't stop laughing.